the screen is where I will be tangling alongside all of you. And, the intention of today's session is really that we are able to relax, slow down, breathe, uh, and just learn to pause and, uh, just use this time as a way to be able to connect to ourselves again. So of course we can do the same through different ways, and we are going to be doing it through art today. So for I'll be also telling you what is Entangle. So before we kind of get going, I just want you to um, know that. So we'll need a black pen, um a pencil, a earbud, and a few. So some of I've requested if all of you can cut a paper tile, which looks something like this, uh, and just a few practice sheets. So we'll be doing Zentangle on all of this material. Um so yes, uh, just to give you a brief, Zentangle is a very fun and a very creative art method in which we make designs, we deconstruct them, by making repeated stroke, by doing repeated strokes. Um, Whatever you do, there is no right or wrong. It's very unique to each one of you. So even as I will be sharing and tangling alongside you, you don't have to make the same thing, and whatever you make will also not be the same thing because each one of us is different. And the purpose of the session is also to be able to really come and really respect our own individuality in this entire process of making art. So yes, without talking much about it, we'll get going. So these are little this is a deck of little cards. I just want you to sit comfortably, and just before we get going, we are just going to kind of um, sorry, I hope it is visible. Yeah, in case it is not, there are five cards. Each one card has says relax, breathe, slow down, come out of the shell, and discover. So as we just sit, we are going to roll our shoulders back. Just take a few deep breaths. I'm going to just set the intention for the session. When I say an intention, it's something that we are going to consciously think of through the session, you know. So, suppose my intention for the session is to relax. I'm going to consciously remind myself to relax through this entire hour of doing Zentangle. And you're going to learn and relax through Zentangle, or breathe more, slow down, come out of the shell, or discover, or it can be anything else that you wish to have as your intention for the session. Yeah. So, what you're going to do is, there you go. In case my screen is not visible, just help me out in setting it up. So, we're going to take a pencil, and we're going to make four dots. And when I say we are going to make four dots, it's going to be in a way, it's going to be around the size of, let's say, a matchbox. Yeah. Once again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And we're going to join these four dots very lightly with the. It's a good idea to keep turning around your practice sheet so that it's easier. And Uh, we are going to learn the first tangle together today. Yeah, the name of the tangle is, tangle along what is called as floors. And now we are going to be using our pen. Yeah, so what you're going to do is you're going to take any particular corners and we're going to just make a dot there. Yeah, and I want to imagine as if there are these strokes that are just coming out. Once again, you don't have to copy me, it's just as a template. And you're going to kind of make these little curvy lines. And every intersection, we're going to be kind of highlighting it. So either you can make like a diamond, for example, or it could be just a simple dot, or it could be something that resonates with you, like many people make hearts. But whatever you're going to do, you're going to, every intersection, you're going to make the same pattern or design. So if I'm using a diamond, all intersections are going to have these diamond kind of things. Let's go a little slowly and make gentle and very deliberate strokes. Just see how your pen is moving on paper. And that's tangle floors. Once you're done, you can share it with me also if you want. Just I can see your screen. Yeah, that's great, Sagarika. I can see. Yes, Sunanda, I can see yours too. That's good. Yes, Seema. Great. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Great. Nice, Krish. Yeah, nice, Bernadette. Right. So that's Tangle floors. So this in Zentangle there are different patterns, and these patterns are inspired a lot from things around, from nature. Uh, and floors is something which we will commonly, it's a very simple but a very commonly used pattern, in our floorings. If you, yeah, if you see that, um, you can have your own variation to floors. There is no right or wrong. Uh, just the idea is to make very conscious and make very deliberate strokes. Yeah. Is everybody good? Shall we go to the next pattern? Yeah. So in case you have questions or something, you can just post it on chat, or uh, as we go ahead, we'll take them. Uh, the next For the next pattern, once again, we are going to make like 4 dots with your pencil. You're going to join them. It's going to be like a matchbox sized rectangular, or even if it becomes a square, it's absolutely okay. The reason we are making these 4 dots and just making a box is just so that you kind of have a space in which you can learn and practice these tangle patterns. Once again, this is like a practice thing. So after that, we'll be making a tile. Yeah. And the next one that you're going to be making is a little is is a fun one, and it's called as crescent moon. Yeah. Once again, we are going to remind ourselves about our intention, and what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting again from the borders. So you're going to kind of make these semicircle kind of orbs, but you don't have to make the same ones like me. They can be of any size.
Uh, Shraddha,
Yeah.
uh, is it necessary to have spaces in between the crescents?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
In
So,
case those of you who've made it and there isn't a space, it's fine.
no, I just wanted to clarify.
Yeah. So Zentangle has no mistakes. So there are no mistakes and only opportunities as you do Zentangle. So once you're done with these crescents or semicircles, you're going to just fill them. You're going to fill them up with ink. And it's very natural for your mind to be wandering. You can just slowly bring yourself back. Just the way your pen is moving on paper, just reminding yourself of your intention. You can use this time to, as you're filling these orbs up, to take a few deep breaths. Sometimes filling it with ink can be fun. Sometimes one can feel differently, and it's absolutely okay. And once you're done, what we're going to do is we can start from any particular semicircle or a crescent, and we're just going to go and make a line from one end to touching the other corner. And once you're done with that, it's a particular order you will follow, which you set. Go to the next one. We're going to do this for all the crescents. Just make sure you do it in a certain rhythm or a certain order. It's a good idea to keep turning your practice sheet. And once you're done with one round, you'll start, you're going to continue to do this till we reach the center. You're going to do one crescent at a time. One stroke at a time. As you kind of get closer, you'll be reaching, you'll see that your crescents are kind of overlapping. So you're going to just watch me. What I'm doing is you're going to kind of imagine as if this is going behind and come back. one stroke at a time. Every stroke is dynamic and just see what comes out. Perhaps as you come closer, you kind of notice, like the space is quite less. So you can, without breaking the order, continue to do this. Just see what unfolds with each stroke. And once you're done, you can look at it from all four sides. Look at it from one arm's distance. And that's Tangle Crescent Moon. For each one of you, it's going to be very different. And yes, that's great. Yes. I think it'd be nice if everybody is able to share it with each other and also see how it's come out differently for each one of you. And it's just a expression of yes. So you can fill the center part with a little ink if you want to highlight, or you can just let it be the way you like it. And you can also make, if there is something that it resonates with for you, I'm sure it will have some meaning to you also. So that's Tangle Crescent Moon. And I hope it just allowed you to pause and it's a very fluid tangle. Every time you kind of do it, it just turns up differently. So uh, I really enjoy doing it. So is everybody okay? Shall we go to the next tangle? Yeah. So the next tangle is one of my favorites, and It's a little uh, challenging tangle, but I almost like to teach it in every session because I like it. But yeah, it's got, so you're gonna again make these four dots and just box. Once again, if you feel like stretching a little, you can. And you're gonna kind of divide this box into four parts. Once again, doesn't have to be perfect. So there's a concept in Zentangle where there is no mistakes and only opportunities. And uh, with this, you're going to be doing Tangle Paradox. These are names of tangles only for us to kind of be able to identify. And if you wish to do more of Zentangle, take it ahead more, and you'll be able to identify a lot with names. And you're going to be doing this alongside me. Yeah. So you're going to take one of the either grids or the boxes. I'm going to be taking this one. Yeah. Okay. So what you're going to do is we're going to take our pen for a walk. So for now, if this is my box, that's the space I'm going to play in. And I'm going to scan from a particular corner dot. I'm going to just take my pen for a walk. And once you reach that point, you're going to continue to do so. Again, taking your pen for a walk, little. You can turn the practice sheet want if that helps. And then, once again, from stopped, take your pen for a walk. And as the tangle says, it's tangle paradox. So once you are going to come back to where you started, we don't repeat the same mistakes. So we're going to go a little ahead. And together, we are going to follow the same order till we reach the center. So I will go in, I'll take the pen for a walk, maybe slightly inside. Once again, as I reach the starting point, I come a little ahead. Every line you make, you go a little inside. Once you reach the center, you want to just
can get a little confused.
We can do one more. We can go back. We can go to the next one. Yeah, in case you've missed this or you've kind of found yourself confused or anything else, we can again start. It's a new start. We're going to be using this particular box. You can even go to this one. That's also fine. So I'm going to be starting from here, taking my pen for a walk. I go a little closer inside the box. And for those of you who are done, we're going to try all this. And once again, when you reach the starting point, you're going to go a little inside. And that's tangle paradox. If you see, it look like there's no specific direction you need to follow, but if you kind of, one side of it will look like a fan. Once again, you're going to look at it from all four sides and just one arm's distance, all four sides. See how it looks like for you. And even if there's some line that you missed or something, it's absolutely okay. So is everybody comfortable with these three tangles? Yeah. In case you wish to share, please do share. And based on these tangles, we are going to kind of create a tile, which is a Zentangle tile. Yes. That's great, Sagarika. So we are going to create the first. So this is like a practice, and this was just like a warm up. Once again, for all the three tangles that you made, you can have your own variations. The difference between Zentangle and Doodle patterns often, we wonder, is this like doodling? But Zentangle is a very deliberate and a very conscious stroke. Uh, so you know what you're doing when you're making Zentangle, like which direction is your pen headed in. And as you kind of continue to do this repeatedly, you'll see that uh, it's a very meditative effect, and you see your body slowing down. It improves your mood, it helps you relax, it helps you unwind. Um, Whereas doodle is a very unconscious process. So that's the little difference between Zentangle and doodling. So we are going to be making a Zentangle tile, for which we are going to need it's a paper tile, which is a 3.5-inch square paper. For those of you who haven't got a chance to cut it, you can kind of just make a 3.5-inch by 3.5-inch square on the sheets of paper you have. We use a very a particular size of like a 3.5-inch size paper tile, because it's a small uh, surface, and it won't take you more than 15 minutes if you do it on a regular basis also. Yeah, so the idea is also how we can bring this more and more on a day-to-day basis. And I'm going to be taking you through it. Um and after that, you can make it the way you like it. It's your own tile. So what you're going to do is, once again, uh, if you want, we're going to stretch a little, just unwind, and we're going to start with taking our pencils, and you're going to make these 4 dots, which are, very light 4 dots, which are on the edges, close to the edges or on the edges. And as you make these 4 dots, you're going to uh, really practice gratitude. Whatever that you're grateful for at the moment, and you're going to say it aloud to yourself, or you can say it in your own mind. You're going to really invite that feeling of gratefulness. It's a 3.5 by 3.5-inch tile. And once you're done with these 4 dots, we're going to gently just join these. Okay. And that kind of makes it like it gives us a border to the tile. Very lightly, at the end of it, once your Zentangle tile is done, these borders may perhaps not be seen also. And Zentangle is a non-representational art. So, there's no specific direction. Each side is unique, and you can choose whichever side suits you. Yeah. So for today, after, we are going to make a string. And when I say a string just divides the tile into different parts. So we're going to kind of make a V, the way we, okay? It can just be a simple V. Once again, very lightly. It's a very light pencil stroke. And this kind of divides the tile into 3 parts. Yeah. So all the patterns that we are learned, um, you're going to place it the way you like it on this. So each particular part is one pattern. You can perhaps use the patterns we learned right now, or if there's something that resonates with you at the moment, you can add that also. And we're just going to make our own Zentangle tile. I'll be making mine, but you don't have to make the same thing as mine. Take this time to just allow yourself and just see what happens as you kind of go ahead and make yours. It will not be the same, and it we don't want it to be the same. Yeah. Again, there is no right or wrong. Uh, the focus is on having fun. The focus is on feeling what you want to feel, and let's not focus on making it perfect. Yeah. So we can get going, and you can have your own variations to the tangle, and that's absolutely fine. In fact, it would be great. So you're doing, do not forget to have some fun, play around, perhaps break free from the string also if you want to. If you have any questions or something, please feel free to reach out. Even if you get distracted, just bring your attention back. Perhaps if you want to write a quote or if you want to write a reminder to yourself in some ways as you're making this, also you can just integrate it. If you want to use some colorful pens, feel free to add. The idea is we keep it as simple so that there is less distraction.
Take a minute, just a few seconds to pause and look at your tiles from all four sides. How each side is different. About 2-3 minutes more to complete our tile. Then go ahead.
Once you're done, we'll be shading the tile. Yes, Bernadette, that's great. Once you're done, look at it from all four sides. You want to select the side that you like or relates most to you at the moment.
Shraddha, I have a question.
Yeah.
If on this tile something goes crazy, like when you're just starting maybe one section of the triangle, do you just kind
Uh-huh.
of cover it up or keep going, or what's the story?
So, like I said, there are no mistakes. There are only opportunities, and you just let go and move on. Perhaps when you look at the tile again, you may realize that it doesn't even seem like a mistake. And in Zentangle, we really don't use an eraser or we don't try to cover up what we've made because uh, these little what we call as mistake also brings, sparks a new creativity and new ideas.
Okay.
So yeah, just stay with the feeling.
One more question in terms of
Yes.
when you're drawing, uh,
Uh-huh.
I suddenly became aware that if you go left to right with a pencil, sometimes
Hmm.
that flow might be easier than if you go back on the same line, like right to left. And
Right, right.
especially in paradox, that becomes quite apparent when you're going around and around. You suddenly want to change direction because you're just
Hmm.
more confident in the other direction.
Yeah. So you
That,
can start from any direction that you're comfortable with,
so
Sunanda.
my question is more in terms of is there a Zentangle principle in terms of, because I remember you said um, like when we were doing the circle one, right? Like what I've used
The
here,
crescent moon. Yeah.
you said just keep going in the same direction over and over and over, right?
Yeah.
and and that in itself brings a certain amount of peace, or uh, it calms you down if you keep going in the same direction. But on the other hand, if you're trying to just achieve coloring the circles or just making more circles, you tend to
Hmm.
go in any order. And is
Right.
that maybe one of the principles of Zentangle, is my question.
Yes, it is.
Stick in the same direction.
Yeah. 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 When there are, like I said, conscious, deliberate strokes,
Hmm,
uh, allows you to be fully present
correct.
to
Okay.
the process.
And one more question. Sorry.
Sure, sure, absolutely. Please
when,
ask.
when we're doing the paradox, right? So I did it a
Hmm.
couple of times because I just couldn't understand how it wasn't coming right. the first time. Then I did a second one, it became a little bit more clear. And then finally I saw the fan pattern emerge eventually.
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
takes a couple of tries. It's not straightforward,
Yeah.
Even though it
Yeah.
seems like just keep going, let your pencil go for a walk is all very well. But actually, it takes
Yes.
some practice for that pencil to walk right.
Right. Which is
So,
absolutely okay.
okay. And
Yeah.
on the paradox, every square that you make or every four lines that you connect, every line kind of comes in at a little bit of an angle, right? Not
Yes.
only
It's
the
as
side,
if all lines are coming a little, as
just
if they're coming inside the
yeah,
box.
yeah. That was
Yeah.
okay. Thank
As
you.
if you're drawing them closer to the center.
Correct, correct. Yeah,
Yeah. You don't go to the same place. You
yeah.
always find yourself in a different place.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank.
And paradox is like I said, it's a little challenging tangle. Once you get a hang of it, it will just flow seamlessly. But
Yeah.
the entire journey of getting to it also is very interesting.
Yeah, and yeah, as you can see, the rectangle starts to become more square-like as you get it right.
Yes, yes,
So,
yeah,
a
yeah.
good learning. Thank you for that.
Thank you, thank you. So, is any more questions, and or we can go ahead to shading. So before you look at your tiles, you're going to be also doing some fun thing called shading. And shall we go ahead to shading, or does anybody is everybody done? Do you need a few minutes more? Okay. Yeah. So we are going to go ahead with shading. And in case you aren't done, you can come back and complete your tangle. Um, Again, Zentangle shading is fun. It's not the technical aspect of art and shading. The entire Zentangle method was designed with a vision so that everybody can make art. And if you see, like, if you look at your own tile right now, if I would have shown this to you in the beginning of the session and asked you, can you make it? Uh, you will all have a different response. Perhaps a yes, perhaps a no. What we've done is we've deconstructed these patterns. So we've kind of created a step by step process. And that's why you are able to be really present. You'll be able to really relax. Health and Zentangle has been extremely beneficial in with anxiety, with low mood, especially in the pandemic times that we've kind of uh, done this with different groups. So I really urge that all of you can also practice it and see how it comes out for each one of you. So for shading, what you're going to need is a pencil and I have what we call as a stub, but that's an official Zentangle material. You can use a earbud. Yeah. And yeah. So what we're going to do first is you're going to be shading the pattern floors. Okay. In order to shade floors, I'm going to show it to you on the die, like from the rough sheets also, so that it's easier. What you're going to do is you can either kind of just um, add some bit of graphite to this center points where you've made a bowl. Okay. Once again, shading in Zentangle is just, let's say, to add a little bit of more drama, a little bit of more element. And the idea is not to shade and make the entire thing gray. We need to have gray and white spaces so that it looks, so that we get the effect of Zentangle. So we are going to kind of just add little bit of graphite. And sorry, I forgot to mention one thing. We can try and hold the pencil at a little angle, not at the edge, because so that it doesn't leave marks. And you're going to just roll our, you know, earbud. And just in case you want it a little more darker, you can just feel free to add. Yeah. And then to shade paradox, okay, very simply, what you're going to do is you're going to just kind of, you can see, just go to this, the fan. In case you haven't got a fan, there will be like an inverted fan. Just kind of roll your graphite or your pencil over it. So the material that I'm using is a little different than what you may be using. So you may get a different output of shading depending on the paper, the material, the pens that you're using. Yeah. And once again, so you're going to, when you're shading here, for example, so let's say this is you've highlighted, you're going to kind of pull the lead out. Yeah. And not just roll over it. You're going to kind of, it's as if you're just pulling something out. Yeah. So that's what you're going to do on this paradox. Once again, not to forget, just breathe. And shading can be very different for each one of you, and you can shade it the way you like it. You can experiment with shading also. Yeah, is everybody good with paradox? And as you do this, see how your tile gives such a different feeling once it's shaded. And the last one that we are going to be shading is crescent moon. So for crescent moon, what you're going to do is, wherever you see these kind of intersections, you're going to kind of add little graphite there. If you want to make it a little darker, you'll have to put a little more pressure on the pencil. And just, again, you're going to pull out the graphite. The traditional Zentangle method uses a white tile and black pen. The reason being it's simple. The focus is on the process of making the tile and not getting lost in color combinations, permutations, which we can easily get wound up in. So that's when we use the white tile and a black pen. However, of course, as we start learning and as we advance in Zentangle, we can use a lot of different material. Done shading this on the tile. You're going to look at the tile from all four sides, and whichever side you like, you're going to put in your Zentangle initial or just an initial. Some of you may have mixed feelings about the output. A good idea is to keep the tile aside, and when you look at it tomorrow, you may not feel the same. Yeah. Some of us may be too focused on what we feel may be a mistake or some strokes that didn't go well, but they may not matter. In the overall scheme of things, you'll see that those are not even visible. And it's a beautiful way to create a perspective shift also. So you're going to put your initials, and if you want on the back of your tile, you can just write a little note for yourself if you want to. The reason we use a stump or uh, a earbud is because it helps in more finer shading compared to our fingers, because our fingers can uh, really kind of, it's a very small surface of paper, but of course you can explore uh, and see how different material brings out different effects. So here's the Zentangle tile for you, and just take a little moment to pause and relax and just stay with the experience of making a tile and anybody has to ask or share anything, please feel free to. You can share your tiles also with all of you in the group. It's always nice to share and learn and just grow with each other through the time that we've spent. So thank you. And
Shraddha?
Hi.
Hi.
yes.
Yes,
Hi,
Sadhika, please go ahead.
Yeah. Can I have a question. The thing is
Yes.
that, can you combine two Zentangle, two tiles together? Like, with floors, the spaces, the square spaces that come out, squarish
Right.
spaces that come out.
Yeah.
Can you put entangles there? Can you do entangles there, or should you? Is it done?
Tangles in the floors? Yes. So
Yes,
this is
it is, right?
yeah. You can. So this is more of a practice session. So it is more guided, Sagarika. Once you learn the Zentangle method and you pick up
because that's what I did.
because
that's what I did, and I was wondering whether it's done or not. That's
no, it's absolutely okay.
Okay.
It's absolutely okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just to answer somebody's question on Zentangle chat. So Zentangle is a art method. It's originated in US by Rick Roberts and Maria Thomas. It's a very simple, but as you can see, a very beautiful and a very profound art method. And it is used, sorry, I think I lost network. Yeah. So Rick, Maria is a calligraphy artist and Rick is a meditator and a flute player. And when Rick often asked Maria about her experience of doing calligraphy and making art, he had very similar experiences when he would meditate. So that's how they came with the Zentangle method. It has nothing to do with Zen or the Zen school of meditation. It's nothing on that front. There are many tangle patterns. This entangle method is an absolute. It's a 8-step method, and it's a very detailed method which you can all learn and apply in your life. And yes, you can also read a little more about it on zentangle.com, which is the official website of Zentangle. Yeah.
Hi everyone. I was just thinking if we could take a picture of all of you all showing your drawings so that we can keep it for ourselves. It would be really nice if you all would. And thanks a lot, Shraddha, for this amazing session. We absolutely enjoyed it.
Thank you so much.
Okay, just 2 minutes. I will take a picture. Thanks a lot. All of you guys have done an absolutely amazing job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you, Shraddha.
Thank you.
Enjoyed the session.
Thank you for a lovely
my pleasure.
Good
Thank
night.
you so much.
Good night. It was very nice.
Yeah, it was a beautiful session. Very
Thank
calming.
you.
Thank you. I'm really glad it helped.